Trump did make one fairly amazing confession, I guess, admission that for whatever reason didn't merit much of a follow-up from the moderators, and it had to do with his donations to politicians and the inherent corruption that he acknowledges even if the Supreme Court refuses to.
And you said recently, quote, when you give, they do whatever the hell you want them to do.
You better believe it.
So what specifically did they do?
If I ask them, if I need them, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. A lot of money.
Not me. Not me. But you're welcome to give me a check, Donald, if you'd like.
Many of them.
Actually, to be clear,
That's
he
right.
supported Charlie Crist.
Not Mike.
Gave Charlie
But
Crist.
I have.
Donald, if you end your campaign, I hope you will give to me.
Good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me, Governor. I will tell you that our system is broken. I give to many people. Before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me.
So what'd
and
you
that's
get?
a broken system.
So what'd you get from Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I'll tell you what. With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation that, frankly, that foundation is supposed to do good. I didn't know her money would be used on private jets going all over the world. It was. But, okay?
Mr. Trump.
He is literally just rambling there, but
Yes.
Yeah, but
it's not a bad response, and he's right.
again, the question was, you've given money to, he turned a question about this guy running for the Republican nomination, and incredibly, the most right-wing field we've ever seen. That seems like it's going to be true every year until something dramatic happens, right? And he turned that question, and again, he owned that answer. I don't think that answer terribly hurt him in the end, because he at least made it something else. I think what hurts him is that he's given to Hillary Clinton and to Bill Clinton and Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah.
That's damaging to him, and he can't do anything about that damage. But what an incredibly, honest answer about what giving money to politicians does. I mean, he just says it. He couldn't lay out a case against Citizens United more aggressively, more appropriately. He couldn't make a case. He's literally, we got to put that in a Wolfpack ad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is what it is.
Let's do that, actually.
And then we should. And then twice in that, he says, that's a broken system. Again, he has a pretty good answer of, hey, look, man, I'm going to play with the rules that I'm given. And he used that exact same answer also for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, those are the rules. You think those are dumb rules? They might be dumb rules, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lay down my weapons. I'm not going to unilaterally disarm.
Even worse, I think, or even more revealing than what Donald Trump said was that he's going, it's a broken system. I pay money. These guys jump, and they all go, can you give me some money? Give me some money.
Yeah.
Right.
They were doing it right then.
They didn't go, it's fucked up. Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to spend all our time sucking up and bootlicking pieces of shit like Donald Trump? But they immediately went, that's how the knee jerk is. That's just how the gears work. Yes, we need money. Give me money. I'll take money from Donald Trump. You want me to come to your wedding? I'll go.
Yeah.
And if there ever, I mean, like, I went to journalism school at the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism.
I went to Columbia Broadcasting College.
If there's ever a moment in a debate, like it's like at a journalism school class, like this is a guy says, the system is broken, I give money and they respond to me. He's like the mafia.
Yes.
I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later.
Yeah.
I'll need a favor.
I'll need a favor.
Literally, yeah.
And I'll call it in. And literally those clowns, those fake journalists, I mean, they don't, not even an easy question like, well, if the system's broken, this is an interesting question for all you guys. Do you think the system's broken, and how should we fix it?
How should we fix it?
Right. It's not even a hard question. They can answer it any way they want, but they won't even ask that because, as I said, that channel is an establishment channel, and that channel loved the Citizens United decision. And the last thing they want to do is waste any of their time, even a second, even though, 80% of the country thinks that the campaign finance system is broken, but not them. They don't even want to waste 3 minutes on how should we fix that system? Donald Trump gives the most candid answer that has been given at a debate like this, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 3 or 4 election cycles, and they let it go. They let it go.
The only thing that he didn't then add that I would have loved to hear is a follow-up. Okay, you're saying that the system is broken. Who broke it? And he would honestly have to say, businessmen like me, who give to politicians to rig the system so that I have bankruptcy laws like I have, and so that I have campaign finance laws like I have. It didn't just descend from the heavens like that. It was set up by people who look and spend just like Donald Trump.
So he's literally saying the system is rigged in favor of wealthy people like me. We rigged the system by buying it. So now this free market, it isn't a free market. So that's why it's always been bullshit when they say we believe in free market principles. There's no such thing. Markets are created, and then guys like Donald Trump come and pervert them, corrupt them, and buy them. And so then they rig them. So that's why half of all wage earners in America make less than $30,000 a year. And we have the biggest income disparity since the Gilded Age right there.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right.
The most retweeted tweet of the night coming out of the debate was, "It's over. Not one word about economic inequality, climate change, Citizens United, or student debt. That's why Republicans are so out of touch." That was from Bernie Sanders. More than 20,000 retweets. That largest, most retweeted of any candidate.
They're not talking about any problems that concern.
No.
They're not saying, hey, I'm going to make college cheaper for you. Hey, we're going to get you better health care. Hey, we're going to get you a higher wage. We're going to get you nothing. It's just the same old cut taxes for wealthy people, screw over immigrants.
Abortion sucks.
Abortion's bad. We got to take health care away from women, and God and guns. It's the same shit. It's been a losing strategy for the last two elections. It will continue to be a losing strategy. The only way George Bush won in 2004 was there was a gay wedge. That gay wedge is gone.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find another wedge, but they're
trying with Planned Parenthood.
They're trying with Planned Parenthood. It's not working. Planned Parenthood's popularity higher than the GOP.